Welcome to Cricbuzz Chatter in association with Cricbuzz 11, the fantasy gaming app from the house of Cricbuzz. Now, what a day it was for many reasons. 10 wickets fell, 271 runs scored, and under 80 overs bowled. We will discuss all of this. Our man here is ready. I'm in a very fiery mood today, I feel. So you better be ready for it, Michael.
I'm ready.
Let's start with, what do you want to start with? Let's start with Joe Root. What a nice way to start. 100, first ball of the day, bang. Lucky, but in the gap. What do you have to say about that?
Number 37.
Number 37.
The eighth here at Lords.
Correct.
More test runs against India than anybody else in the history of the game. He is the glue for all the talk of Bazball and all the flamboyancy over the years. The most important player, and of course you need to get 20 wickets, but I think the most important player for this England side still is the glue at number 4, Joe Root. He just creates that calmness. He plays the game the right way. He reads the pitch, he reads the situation, what's on, what's not. Yesterday he thought it was tough, the ball was keeping a bit low, he couldn't time the ball, but he just stuck in there and he played it late, and he's got that lovely kind of glide down to third man. He's a lovely player and a great person. You always like to see really good people do well, and he's at the top of my list.
At the top of my list too, because I played with him in Pal Royals, Michael. I loved him as a guy. Just great fun.
You've played with everybody. Is there any player that you've never played with?
I haven't played with Saimi Kher. I haven't played with Gaurav Kapoor. But anyway, the point is, he is such a nice guy. But we'll move on to number 4 rather, Shubman Gill. How big do you think that wicket was for England morally?
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing great. He's been playing with such an immaculate forward defence. I think obviously it's a massive wicket in the context of the game, but I think it was a really big wicket for Chris Woakes. Chris Woakes just needed that lift, and it was a good tactical move, bringing the keeper up, having 2 fielders in front of the bat for those kind of tries, either extra cover or mid-wicket. And it was a beautiful delivery. You know, now and again as a player, you kind of go, okay, the bowler bowled a good ball, and that was a good delivery. Brilliant catch. You know more than me about wicket keeping. You taught me through that catch. From my eyes as a fielder that couldn't catch, that catch to me was as sharp as it comes.
Yep. I was just going to, kind of elaborate and take it down there, because it was very good ball. Credit to Chris Woakes. And also good captaincy, because the field, he said, very much in front of your eyes, and he pushed Shubman Gill to stand in his crease, and hence the interception points became different. Now, that is the batting side of things. But from a keeper, somebody like Chris Woakes, who's bowling a lot of wobble seam, it is so hard, because obviously he gets the ball to move away, but this was just coming back in enough. It's always tougher to catch the ball that comes back in. Like for an off spinner of a right-hander is much tougher, because you start going in, lose your vision for a bit, and in spite of all that, to have your gloves in the right position. Jamie Smith is an absolute diamond, very good with the bat and highly effective and very safe with the glove as well. But for me, what I really enjoyed today, for me, the play of the day, if you want me to say, it was one man, Jofra Archer. Him coming back. How good was that?
Well, you saw the ovation. So not only was obviously Jofra delighted to be back, and I think the cricketing fans here, and it wasn't just the England fans, it was the Indian fans as well, delighted to see Jofra back playing Test match cricket. That ovation he got the wicket in the first over. That was a beautiful delivery to Jasprit Bumrah. But at the start of the day we had Jasprit Bumrah, and we saw a little bit of genius. He's wonderful. And then just later in the day, you saw Jofra Archer. Test match cricket needs that style of bowler. It needs a Bumrah. It needs a Jofra Archer. And that's why the 30,000 here at Lords today, the millions watching around the world, you can't miss a beat when those two are bowling. And I always say, and you'll have said it, and your coaches would have said it, you never judge your pitch until 2 teams have batted or bowled on it. I think you now say you can't really judge a pitch when Bumrah bowls on it. He's too good.
Very good.
But you could say, Jofra, when Jofra bowls on this, he's only bowled 10 overs, but you can see he's already created a bit of impact. How he wakes up tomorrow, going into days 3, 4, and 5, we'll have to wait and see. But to see Jofra Archer back, by the way, with the biggest change I've ever seen.
Oh, yes.
I've never seen change as big as that. But to see him back with his white watch, with his big change, getting the wicket, bowling 90 miles an hour, it was a great spectacle.
Sometimes we judge players. If you look at Jofra's career and stack it up against some of the others who have played 13 tests so far, it might not be up there. But what Jofra brings to the table is that excitement to watch this format. As a viewer, you're just thrilled to watch him on TV. And the joy when he picked up that first wicket. Very similarly, if you play on the Cricbuzz 11 app, you can have the same joy because there's plenty to win. And most importantly, just the ₹1. So please download and start playing. It's a fun game. And that's exactly what we saw on the field when Jofra Archer nicked Yashasvi Jaiswal. Third ball in his spell, a bit of a fairy tale comeback. Lovely to watch. I quite enjoyed it. But that wicket fell. Another man walked in, Karun Nair. He fought it out. He was there. He got 40. Didn't move on. Do you think the Indian team, the coach and the selectors will look at him as saying, that guy looked the part. Let's keep backing him, or say, is time running? Or what do you think?
I know he played nicely. But we all know in cricket that a 30 or a 40 doesn't pay your mortgage. It doesn't pay everything off. You need to get that 40 into an 80, the 80s into the 150s, and the 150s into double centuries. That's the game. And he'll be disappointed because he played well. I mean, it was a great catch. You know, the catch from Joe Root was spectacular, but he'll be disappointed that once again the outside edge has been found, and that's what England are going to target. They're going to try and get him to kind of play some nice drives.
He did,
but the ball wasn't swinging. But they will try and take the ball away from him. He just opens that shoulder up.
Yes,
his back comes across the line, and that's why the outside edge is being found. But I would hope that India would stick by him by at least another couple of games just to give him a run at number 3. There's been so many plays today. I mean, it's been slow in terms of over 8, but at the start of the day, I want to ask you actually, because you've been around Jasprit a lot more than I have. I've said publicly, he's the greatest I've seen. And people think, oh, I'm just trying to get... honestly, I've not seen a better bowler than Jasprit Bumrah, just the way that he delivers. But what is it that he brings? Not just what we see visually. What does he bring in the dressing room to the team?
When we speak about Jasprit Bumrah, we always say, short run up, he's got a stuttered run up, his hands go all over the place, and then he delivers the ball, you don't pick it up. Those are all the theatrics that happen on the field. But what I really admire is that ticking brain of his. Now, he was bowling against the slope a bit. And when you bowl against the slope around the wicket, the one thing that does happen is take the ball away. That happens a lot more naturally with the slope that's available. But what he did, he kept bowling mid-box, and then just that Stokes ball comes inside slightly, just a slither, and that creates that angle where the ball came back in. Now, when I'm observing it, I'm thinking he's planned it. He's thought, let me go mid-box, and then one slightly closer, bang, the wicket falls. So that for me is the most valuable asset, not only in Test cricket, when you play one-day cricket. If you feel like you need a small spell between, overs 23 to 27, he'll come and give you the 3-over spell for 12 runs. He'll just break momentum. He holds pressure. He does various things that a captain would want. If you want to attack, he'll go for it. If you want him to defend, he can. If you want him to defend 7 runs, I think today it's fair to say he is the bowler that you would want a ball to be in, because he has a good yorker, a good slow one, everything that's required in white ball cricket. But in Test cricket,
but you were with him all those years ago.
Correct.
Back in Mumbai, 2013.
That's so right.
Are you going to take credit?
No, I think
surely you're a coach these days, DK. You can take the credit for these players. Go on the stage and deliver so much goodness.
No, there's no way I'm taking any credit for anything that Bumrah has done, because I think Mumbai Indians deserves credit for looking at him. John Wright was the one who spotted him and then brought him on. And nobody knew who Jasprit Bumrah was, other than the fact that he's played for Gujarat. He's obviously represented in the junior cricket. And then the way he came through the ranks, and he played a lot of 4-day Ranji Trophy cricket. And he was waiting for his opportunity as a Test cricketer. And being number 1 ranked, the 3 wickets that he got off the number 1 ranked player, Joe Root, of Ben Stokes and Chris Woakes, that 3-wicket spell in 7 balls that broke the back of England.
He's got the most fifers now away from home.
That as well. I mean, for India, you can speak about, look at those numbers. In 35 tests, he's gone past what Kapil Dev, who's regarded as the greatest fast bowler / all-rounder from India, who did it in 66. I mean, his numbers are incomparable to speak. He is actually, at times, I just run out of words that I want to, literally scream out from the rooftop in terms of how good he is. For me, he is the most valuable cricketer on the planet right now. Across
he actually, if you look at the game situation, India are 242 behind, and on a pitch like this, you would think that England are completely controlling this game. They're ahead, but because of Jasprit Bumrah, we saw what he did this morning, and because of Jasprit Bumrah, that second innings for England, whenever it comes, England will hope it comes early on day 3. If India bat really well, it might be late on day 3. If they bat really, really well, it might come on day 4. And Bumrah, of all the bowlers in this match, and we've got some quality, but if all the bowlers in the match, he has it in him to just go bosh and blow the opposition away. And that, in the back of England's mind, will be, Yes, they'll be slightly worried about the spin coming into play, but I think in the back of this England team's mind will be, wait a minute, Bumrah in the second innings, he could completely crack this game open.
And that could have happened as well. But there is a moment. Rahul dropping that catch of Jamie Smith. And then 116 runs added for the last 3 wickets. Do you think that's going to come back to haunt India a bit?
Yeah, and I'll go to the change of ball. The change of ball from nowhere.
We'll hold that thought for a moment because I feel that is a even more sensitive question, and I'll come to that much later. But that catch being dropped and the number of catches India have dropped in the last 2 test matches, that is becoming a bit of an, I don't know, I can't say an epidemic, but a bit of a problem.
Yeah, yeah. Of all the catches, I mean, there's been some catches that have gone down that I thought, oh yeah, you've got to take that. That was a tough chance.
It was.
That went fast, and the cordon, because of the slow nature of the pitch, they're so close. And that was a flashing blade of Jamie Smith. The one thing I say about Jamie Smith, when he snicks it, it's going to go fast. I don't think he's going to stick it with a little soft hand. He's always going to be throwing his hands at the ball and creating a bit of momentum. But look, if you want to be the best team in the world, if you want to win wherever you play in the world, they're the kind of moments you've got to win the key moments. And at the minute, Jamie Smith, you could argue, is in the best form for England. He's dynamic. And you have to take that opportunity. It's very similar to Alan Gilchrist back in the day.
Correct.
When Gilchrist gave you a chance, you had to take it because 30, 40 balls later, the game can go away from you. So that is a key play in this game so far.
We've got some really good wicket-keeper batters in the world right now. Alex Carey, Rishabh Pant, Jamie Smith. It's very exciting times being a wicket-keeper. And they're always in the hot seat, just like they are. I want to put you on what we call the hot spot here. Michael, I think you're very worthy of answering this question because I have 2 for you.
Oh, good.
You're such a hot man. I need to ask you the first one, which is, why did India have a change in ball? Number 1. Number 2, what do you think of the pace in play? Less than 80 overs.
Right, so let's go to number 1, the ball. I'm a big believer that sometimes bowlers are a bit dumb. I've watched cricket for a number of years, and when you've got a ball that's moving around, I don't care how big it is. I don't care what shape it's in. It's moving around. You've just got 3 wickets. Now, Mohammad Siraj looks to me like he's taking it on his own to the umpire. I want a changing ball. All the rest of the team should have gone and whacked Siraj on the head and said, "What are you doing? The ball is moving around." That is a big play in the game because the ball arrives. It did nothing. It was kind of not coming off the surface. For the first 8 overs of the day's play, I kind of looked at the pitch and go, "Oh, it's great. It's quickened up." The ball was flying through. Bumrah was bowling great. Siraj got that one off Jamie Smith that flew to Rahul. And suddenly they changed the ball and that zip off the surface stopped. And whether the ball was not the same age of the ball that they changed, that's irrelevant. You as a team, you don't need to change the ball. And when the ball's moving around, that was a big moment for me. They shouldn't have done that. And as I said, bowlers sometimes, they overcomplicate life.
One ball, they bowled with 63 balls, the second new ball. And they changed it. And they weren't happy for the next 48 balls, which is what the second ball lasted. They didn't feel that moved as well and eventually got that changed. Well, there was a lot happened. And the pace of play as well, Michael.
Oh, I mean, look, Test cricket at the minute, it's great. There's been an era, the last 3 or 4 years. It's the best time I've had watching Test cricket. So we can't be too critical in terms of what we're seeing. It's a great product. But to only bowl 75 overs, I think there's a very simple answer to this. On day 5, we'll arrive here at Lords. I'm pretty sure it'll go to day 5. We have to bowl 90 overs. It's in the rules that on day 5, you have to bowl 90 overs. Why isn't that rule on days 1, 2, 3, and 4? So on day 5, they talk about TV and, it might go on late. On day 5, teams won't want a time waste. Well, what? So teams don't want a time waste sometimes on days 2, 3, and 4. Just bowl the overs. Just make sure that every given day, 90 overs, it's in the bank for a reason. If it rains, obviously you take the overs off for the rain, but you bowl the 90 overs. If it's like it is this week, a beautiful week in London, the blue skies are out, it's nice and warm. Why wouldn't we want to see 90 overs? Why have we left Lords today with a day's play that's had a route 100, a brilliant Bumrah spell, brilliant Archer, brilliant from Smith, technical masterclass from Rahul. But we're kind of leaving going, why have we only seen 75 overs? Just bowl the overs. I'd make it very simple.
This is a very good point for the MCC Rules Committee to have a look and say, is there something that we can do about this? Because if you had come to Lords today as a spectator, you'd think, I'd paid some money to come and watch a day's cricket, and I've just got 75 overs. But if you download the Cricbuzz 11 app, just for ₹1, you will get your value of money and you can win lakhs daily as well. That's how good that app is. So don't forget, please go download. And in the same vein, let me just say, it's time to fast forward, Michael. Michael, what do you think India will be looking to score? And also, what do you think England will be looking to do in terms of to combat India here?
Yeah, well, I think on this kind of surface, if I'm England, I want to lead in the first innings. You know, and I want
what's the number?
I want a 60-run lead at least. I want a decent lead because I think on this kind of pitch, if India get to parity, if they can get to 350, 380, and they give England that third innings, which will be really tricky because they won't really know how to play it. Because let's be honest, if they do get to parity, it'll take up most of day 3. And then you've got 2 days left. And we know that 80 overs are only going to be bowled tomorrow. And we know that 80 overs are going to bowl on day 4. Then we've got 90 on day 5. So let's go 80, 89. So we've got 250 overs left in the day, game so far in the test. I think that England need a decent lead. If India can get to parity or even just get a little bit in front, I think then the game becomes very, very tricky for England. At the minute, England have got the noses in front. 242 is a lot of runs on this wicket.
Correct.
But if they don't get a decent lead, that third innings becomes a really tricky one. And then Bumrah, Jadeja, Siraj, that we've seen bowled a tremendous spell here a few years ago. Akashdeep's probably a little bit more used to the slope and will bowl better in the second than we've seen in the first. I think day 3 is going to be intriguing. India have to get close. If they don't, I think England will dominate the game. If they do get close, I think England are in for a tricky third innings.
Okay, so here it is. You've heard everything of what happened on day 2. But for day 3,
who's going to be the key
player?
players? I'm going to ask you.
You always...
Yeah, well, I've done too much talking. I want to ask you, DK, who's going to be for England, who do you see as a critical player? And for India, who is the key?
For England, I'm going to go Jofra Archer purely because of his speed, of what excitement he brings. I want to see a lot of Jofra Archer. Let me keep it simple. And in the same vein, I'm going to go to India and say Rishabh Pant. He is fun to watch. I'm just going for the fun aspect. Moving day, you need people who need to make it very exciting. There's none better than Jofra Archer and Rishabh Pant to watch out for tomorrow. These are the 2 guys I will be watching out for. And now, from a sunny day at Lord's, Michael Vaughan and me say good night to you guys. I hope you had fun. Come back to watch us on Cricbuzz Chatter in association with Cricbuzz 11, the fantasy gaming app from the house of Cricbuzz. See you tomorrow.